What's up, guys? It is John from Side Hustle Experiment. Today's video, we're going to talk about spend goals. It is Q4. I've gone back and forth. Should you have a weekly, a daily, a monthly? I've already spent $30,000 this month. We're only halfway through. It feels kind of weird. I think the most I've ever spent was like $35,000. So I'm going to kind of go through my thinking on this, why I've spent so much so far, and kind of maybe how you should, or how I think about it. This way you can make your own decisions. This is just what I do. I'm not suggesting anyone go swipe their card for $30,000. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I've done over $1 million in sales since starting. And my goal is to teach you guys how to make money selling on Amazon, doing online arbitrage. So if you're into that, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. And I post a lot on Instagram as well, at Side Hustle Experiment. With that being said, let's just get into it. So I've spent over $30,000 already since what are we in, November? It's such a blur. And this is crazy for me. When I first kind of started online arbitrage, I was very big on daily spend goals. Try to spend $500 a day. It was $250 a day, $500 a day. Sorry, the windshield wipers, it's snowing here. And then it was $1,000 a day, and then we're kind of right around $1,500 a day. Right now we're averaging about $2,000 a day. But that is going to slow down a little, most likely. So what kind of goes behind this? So I always thought a daily spend goal was good because, so let's just start from the beginning. What is a spend goal? So a spend goal is a set amount of money you set that you want to try to spend for the month on profitable inventory. So for me, it was when I first started, let's say it was $30,000, or let's say it was $500 a day, which, what would that equate to? I don't like to do math on the spot, but about $15,000, I think. So that's what I was shooting for when I first started. So that's what you try to hit. So then you take 15,000, divide that by 30 or 31, whatever you want to do, and that's how much you'd have to spend a day. And the idea is, if you spend that amount of money at a certain ROI, you'll be able to make that much money pretty much guaranteed. Because if you're spending what you need to spend and all your numbers check out, you should get back what you're supposed to get back. Now, does it always work that way? No. Because listings change, prices go down, returns, all that kind of stuff. But a general rule, having a spend goal in mind, is definitely helpful to kind of guide you along. So one thing with daily spend goals is they are good for consistency, and that's why I was really all about it. I was like, gotta spend $1,000 a day. If you could spend more, that's great. When I first started, it was really hard to spend $1,000 a day. And if you're just getting started, it should be pretty hard to spend $1,000 a day, unless you're doing like high-end sneakers that are like $200 a pair or something like that. That obviously you don't have to buy 5 pairs, and like you'd have your goal. But what I've come to realize is there are some downsides to that. So some downsides include, sometimes it sounds crazy, but there's just not a good $1,000 worth of stuff out there, or I don't see it. I'm sure it's out there. It's just I don't come across it. The VAs didn't find it. I was looking for it and didn't find it. And the issue becomes then, if you don't hit the goal, one, it feels really shitty because it feels like you basically failed the day. Two, sometimes it forces you to spend money on items you probably shouldn't be spending money on just to hit a spend goal. Sometimes it forces you to doesn't force you to do anything, but maybe your decision making changes. Maybe you replen some items that you really shouldn't replen just to hit the spend. So that's some of the cons of it. Some of the pros is you're consistently spending money and you're sourcing every day. Most likely you're getting better every day because you're sourcing every day, and hopefully it's getting easier and easier for you to find stuff. What I've been doing lately is basically spending as much money as I can profitably within reason in the day. A couple of benefits to this, for me anyway, is what I've tended to notice is right now there are a ton of sales. It's absolutely insane. Pretty much any website you go to, there's early Black Friday sales, cash back is crazy. There's so much stuff out there right now. So definitely try to take advantage of it. And the thing with, which brings me to my next point, is this isn't good. These prices won't be here forever. Will they come back around? Maybe. But at this point, I do not want to take the chance. If it's profitable and I have the money to spend on it, I'm definitely going to spend on it. That's kind of been my new kind of philosophy with spend goals. Just from talking to other people in the community, it's just like, if it's profitable, why wouldn't you buy it? Like, it's almost like you're waiting for something better. And then if something better doesn't come along, you're going to be kind of kicking yourself that you didn't buy when you could have bought it. And another thing for me that I am kind of really focusing on is I'm focusing on stuff that's moving really quickly. Obviously, that's, you always want to sell fast moving stuff, and when it hits the warehouse, it sells quickly. But there are some items that are worth, letting sit in a warehouse for 1 to 2 weeks, 3 weeks before they sell, because they're just slower moving items. So what I'm doing is I'm spending a ton of money on fast moving items that I know are going to do well, and partly because some of them I've bought before, others I just know from kind of sourcing that same category and just having familiarity within that category. But the idea is to spend a lot right now, get it all into Amazon, and get all that money back quickly. Black Friday is right around the corner. People are definitely going to be on Amazon shopping. Might not be your stuff, but when they go for Black Friday deals, I know sometimes when I shop on a site or there's a deal, I buy the deal and I'm like, oh, do I need anything else from this store? And then you buy other stuff or whatever. So, that is a thing. Things are definitely moving a lot quicker right now. Just volume is up. Q4 is here. And so that's one big aspect of it. I'm expecting to get a lot of this money back quickly. Obviously, I am actually doing a lot of the prep work for this stuff. That is one of the reasons why I am confident that I will get this money back quickly. There's never a guarantee that you will, but I'm prepping the stuff. I'm getting it, prepping it, getting it out the door within 1 to 2 days. It's getting to a warehouse, sometimes the same day I send it, and then it's getting checked in with 2 or 3 days. So stuff I sent in on Monday is already starting to sell. So definitely the plan is starting to take place and starting to work. So hopefully I'm going to have this $30,000, not all of it obviously, but a good chunk of it back just from sales of these quick moving items. So that is kind of the plan. Another thing you have to think about is the deadline to get items to Amazon to be eligible to get them to people by Christmas is December 1st. That is 2 weeks away from today, I'm pretty sure. I think today is the 15th. So yeah, waiting to Black Friday to spend money is not going to help me. I need to be spending money now. It's a very different, one of the biggest misconceptions or things that aren't really talked about a lot in the space is sometimes you really have to front load the capital and the money. You have to buy 2-3 months worth of stock or 2 months worth of stock now, because you're not going to be able to, one, get that price again for maybe, I don't know, 2-3 months. And two, once you send your amount, it's going to sell through. So if you just sell through it and then you can't restock it, that's no good either. Obviously, it really depends on your situation. But for me, I'm definitely buying a lot deeper on things and just trying to spend the money that as quickly as possible to get it back as quickly as possible. Some cons to this. Not another good sale comes along. And you don't really have capital to deploy against that, which sucks. But if you're making really good bets, I feel like, or not bets, but if you're buying really good products, I mean, that's just the game. And hopefully next time around, you'll have more capital to kind of spend on that. If you make bad buying decisions in a day, you know, that could really hurt you. And I'm not saying that you should spend like a ton of money like every day, but like if the items are profitable, I would prefer to buy them because you don't know if you'll ever get them that profitable again. There have just been some crazy sales. Like I've never seen prices this low on some of the stuff. You also have to be prepared for prices to tank or go down a little bit. Me personally, I do take that into consideration, but I am sourcing much differently since I am prepping it myself. Because I know it's not, so for instance, I was explaining this to someone the other day. So where I'm located, there are 2 major warehouses from me. Where I ship, my prep center is in Montana. So if I buy something today, it's probably not gonna get to Montana, depending on the store, for like 3 or 4 days, okay? Then the prep center is going to process it. They send out about once a week for me right now. I wish it was more, but that's just what the situation is. And it kind of works out in other ways, but that is kind of the situation. So then when it goes to Montana, most of the items that are prepped there go to a warehouse in Illinois. So that takes another 4 to 5 days, right? So now we're looking at like 2 weeks. When I buy something, have it shipped to me, just because where I'm located, it takes usually a day or 2 to get to me. 3 days max. I get it, prep it right away, have it out the door within 24, 48 hours. It gets to a warehouse within about 24 to 48 hours, and then gets checked in about a day or 2 later. So I'm literally saving like a whole week, if not a week and a half. And so that week and a half means I could buy more inventory and have it sell quicker. And that is exactly what I'm doing. And that's why I'm buying a lot more heavily. If I was sending all this to prep, I probably would be spending it differently, doing some different things. But I'm just working my ass off right now. I don't like prepping. I don't like having to do all of it. I prepped a ton of apparel the other day. It really sucked, but I'm really happy that I did because all the stuff is starting to sell now, and my plan is really coming to fruition. So it's Q4. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do. I have started a little bit merching fulfilling as well, just some random stuff, but I'll be doing more of that probably in Q4 too. Select opportunities. I'm probably not going to be doing like Lego sets and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing like stuff that's easy to ship. You go in an envelope, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. Just some ways you could think through a spend goal, whether it's weekly, monthly, or daily. I would say do what works best for you. This video is kind of all over the place, but I think there's a bunch of good insights that were dropped, and I hope you find that helpful. But basically, do what's best for you. You know, that's all I could really say, and that's kind of a lot of the advice I've been giving lately. Not everyone has all the answers. You just really got to try stuff, and then once you try it and see if it works, if it doesn't work, you gotta do something else or tweak whatever you did, and then go from there. So Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.